All right, let's hear from some more people. We do these calls via Discord. davidpakman.com/Discord is the place to go. Let's go to our old friend from Atlanta. Is the right pronunciation Jire? I hope I'm getting that right.
It's Jira.
Jira. Okay, welcome back to the program.
Yes, I just like to ask. I'm a member, but I kind of take a little bit of like a question mark with some of your take, like when you say like the Republican Party has moved on from like whether it's like Muslims or like gay men. I feel like they don't really ever move on. They just kind of like stick that in their back pocket, and like they constantly like come back and like make nods to it
Of
every once in a while.
course. I'm not
Yeah.
pretending that there's no more Islamophobia in the Republican Party. I just mean a big presence when they want to get applause and whatever is talking about pronouns and, weightlifters and swimmers and this sort of thing.
Oh, okay. I guess that clears it up. So I guess I can go to a secondary question I had since that
Sure.
kind of cleared up. Do you
Sure.
think that Republicans will move on to a lot more like voter restriction laws since they're on this trend of losing elections? Since that seems to be a good tool that they like to come out with, like when the part of the Voting Rights Act got reversed back in like, the 2012-ish area, I
Of
believe.
course. It's not even do I think they will do it. They're doing it. Even, in the lead up to the 2020 election, they restricted voting hours, did voter roll purges, tried to put in place new requirements in order to register, tried to prevent any kind of COVID related changes from being made to how and when people can vote by mail, absentee, etc. They're continuing to do it now. It's not do I think, it's they've been doing this consistently, comfortably, we can say, dating back to 2012, but really even further back than that.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. That's all I had.
All
So,
right. Thank you so much for the call. Great to hear from you again. Why don't we go next to, I don't know. Maybe let's go to Devin from California. Devin from California, welcome to the program.
Can you hear
Devin,
me?
welcome. Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. So I saw your segment the other day from feedback from the audience denying that anyone had ever landed on the moon.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask, why is it that people who believe in the mythos of religion have such a hard time accepting evidence-based, like scientific discoveries like evolution or something like the moon landing?
So that's a really interesting question because it sounds like you're pointing out that there's a bit of a double standard, which is if you are willing to believe things for which there is no evidence, why is it so hard for you to believe things for which there is evidence, right? Is that sort of the point you're making, Devin?
Yeah, exactly.
So that your approach makes so much sense to folks like you and me who think when there is evidence, that's better than when there isn't. That's your framework. That's my framework. But let me propose to you that some of these folks have a different framework. For some of these folks, evidence doesn't matter. And so if you enter by saying evidence doesn't matter, I'm going to believe what I've been convinced of, what feels good, what makes me think that the afterlife will be better or whatever. If your approach is anything can be believed or not based on how I feel, then it's much more easy to understand why they accept the myths of their religion without evidence, because that's just what they want. It's what makes them feel good, etc. But they would reject things for which there is evidence because it just doesn't matter. They don't prioritize evidence over no evidence the way you would or the way I would.
Okay. Okay. Well, shoot.
It's an
Well, thank you
unfortunate
for taking my
situation.
call. Yeah, sounds like it.
Sounds like a
Well,
problem.
thank
All
you
right.
for taking my call. Have a
Devin
nice
from
day.
California, thank you so much for the call. Really, really appreciate it. Okay, why don't we go next? Again, there's so many folks here. Why don't we go to Leah from Wisconsin? Leah from Wisconsin, welcome to the David Pakman Show. Let's hope. Hi, welcome.
Welcome. Hi, I am a huge supporter. I watch you every day, probably multiple times a day.
Thank you.
Yes. So I have two things. First of all, I'd like to say I am a Biden supporter, have been, and I am an odd duck because I am a Christian who likes guns, but I just believe that there should be restrictions.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Okay, so my questions are, one is the holidays are coming up, and the holidays that I'm going to has a bunch of MAGA people. So I don't know how to address that, but I do have to go. Last year, I had a little child, kind of like you do, and they thought that they didn't have to say if they were sick or not. Someone had COVID, they didn't want to tell us, and now, yeah, it's a disaster. So I don't even know how to address that.
Right.
What do you think I should do? Or
So are you asking me whether I think you should go to the family holiday events? Because
no,
there's
I have to go.
You have to go.
Yes.
So what's the question?
How am I going to act, or what kind of things do you think I can do, because they do bring up politics?
So here's the thing. If you don't want it to become an adversarial situation, just don't engage with the political stuff. You know, in general, in these situations, unless someone is really determined to create a problem, they might bring up political stuff. You can just, shut your mouth and play with your kid or whatever and not engage. And if that's your preference, then that's one approach. If you don't care about arguing with people and you want to actually tell these people, I don't agree with what you're saying, then you can choose to engage with them. But don't feel like you have to engage in political discussions at the holidays. You don't have to. It's up to you.
Okay. They kind of make it a thing. And some of them actually switched from being Democrat to Republicans. So it is a very uneasy situation.
They switched recently?
No, they had last voted for Trump in 2016. But before that, they were strong Democrats, and I really don't understand. But that's
how old are a lot of these people?
They are like in their late 40s.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
well, listen, my advice would be approach it based on what you want to get out of it. If you want to get out of it the feeling that you didn't get railroaded with views you didn't like, but maybe you ruined some of the relationships, then argue with people. If you want to get out of it calm and just kind of floating along and not stirring the pot, then just ignore the political discussions. It's really up to what you want to get out of it.
Okay, great. One more thing. So sure. I am in a swing state, as you know, Wisconsin.
Yes.
I am a little concerned because I'm noticing a little bit that people are either saying they're not going to vote, the people that I've known were Democrats.
Yeah.
Or they're drinking some of the Kool-Aid and believing what the MAGA are telling them about inflation and gas prices, when you and I both know that it mostly doesn't even have to do with Biden or the Democrats.
Yeah. Also, inflation was 0 last month and it's down to 3.2% year over year. So it's also like, what are you even talking about?
Right. I saw that. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what.
So here's my advice on that. For the people you're referring to who are on the left, but they might stay home, you should really be clear with them about what the stakes are. The election could come down to Wisconsin, and their vote quite literally could end up determining who is the president of the United States. Like, there's no need to sugarcoat it, right? It's not California where Biden's going to win easily. It's not Nebraska where Trump's going to win easily. The election could come down to Wisconsin, and are they comfortable staying home and potentially making Trump president of the United States? I would make it super clear to them.
The thing that I'm wondering, is there any way to round up people to come do some political stuff out here? Like, I know people like stars and whatnot. I don't have
100%. So here's the thing. Oh, you're saying celebrities?
Well, people like you or other people that have some kind of platform that can and talk to.
Well, listen, that I don't know about, but everybody can get involved in get out the vote calls when Joe Biden officially becomes the nominee. And we'll talk about more ways to get involved in a few months, Leah.
Okay. All right. But thank you very much. I'm just a little bit concerned that people are switching, not realizing. I think democracy, the word, was used too much in the past, and now people don't realize that like if you don't get out and vote, this is the end.
Right. Right. All right, Leah, thank you. By the way, is it you, instead of saying MAGA, you seem to be saying MEGA. Is that a Wisconsin accent? What is that?
No, I might not have had my face right next to the phone. I definitely know mega. I think I'm just
MEGA.
so work. Mega?
Yeah, I'm still hearing it differently. That's interesting. We'll review the tapes. All right, Leah, thank you.
It could totally be a Wisconsin accent
Could
thing.
be. All right, thanks, Leah. Leah from Wisconsin, compelling stuff for sure.